Okay, so I want us to look at the loop structure today. And the loop structure is one of the important concept in programming, simply because there are many times we may want to display some information consecutively. Then we can make use of the loop construct. Or we are trying to write a program whereby a particular line of our code, we want that line to be executed for more than once. Then we can make use of the loop. Maybe for example now, I want a button to be displayed about 5 times or 10 times. I want the button to display 6 times. Instead of using the button tag 6 times, I can use the button tag once and make use of the loop construct to repeat the remaining button. So there are different type of the loop. We have while loop, do while loop and for loop. For today, we will just start to look at only the first loop, which is the while loop. And when we talk about this particular while loop is used to repeatedly execute a block of statement till a condition evaluate to true. That is, when we are using a while loop now, you have to specify a condition for this loop to execute. As long as the condition you specify is true, the loop will continue to execute the statement you specify in it. And another important thing with the while loop is that while loop always check the condition before you can execute your statement. While loop will make sure that the condition you given is true. Once that condition is true, it will now execute the statement you specify that for that condition. So if you are using a while loop, there's a syntax we need to follow here. And that syntax, let me put it started that class before. Okay. Okay, so the syntax for the while loop go like this. Syntax. So I can say while. After that again, I will now specify conditional expression. See why the conditional expression is very important, and that's what we have done. Conditional expression. Conditional expression can be any condition that can return true or false. Okay, so here now I put a statement here. In this case again, I can have statement I want to execute like what? Statement 1. You can execute more than one statement. Undo. You can say statement 1, okay, and statement 2, and statement 12. And that means as many statements as possible can be implemented. Let's say for example now, I want to use particular this while loop to display message. They say okay, they say display a message, display a message, God bless Nigeria and Nigerian. They say display this message 10 times. Okay, 10 times. You get now. So if you are going to display this type of this message 10 times using the JavaScript, what we need to do is to use this particular while loops. You get it now. And to use a while loop, you have to start from determine the starting number, because to display this message you need to start from 1 So just use any variable to represent that word one. By say sometimes a lot of people use counter. That variable can serve as well counter, because this variable counter will count number of times you print the message. That is one now. Counter is one. Then you can now say why. That's where you are going to use to build your condition. Why counter now less than equal to 10? Simply because we want to do what? We want to print the message 10 times. Then you open this brace. As you open the brace, let's say now we now have this document dot write the message you want to display. Now I put it in what? In H2 like this. Okay, so I now put this one here. Now I put it in A2. I put it in. So and I close what? The H2. Okay, and I close the one, the quotation and the bracket here. That is it. You can see now. So this one mean that what? Why the what? This is like an example for that syntax now. So this one mean the moment the counter is 1 here, you can see counter is equal to 1. We store 1 in counter. Your computer control will just come to the while now, say while counter less than equal to 1. That means if this condition here is true, and if you remember counter is 1, which means 1 is less than what? 10. That means condition here is true. System will follow and execute the instruction that is there, which is what? God bless Nigeria and Nigerians. And once system execute it, we must write a program in a way that what? Your computer can repeat the same statement again. Then I will not increase the what? The counter by 1 by say k plus equal 1 now. This k plus equal 1, remember, is a shorthand form for what we call arithmetical assignment operator. So it can be rewrite like this again as k equal k plus 1 like this. Can write it k equal k plus 1 again like this. You get it now? That is it. So after that, I close these braces. And this marks the end of program you want to write. You can see now, very simple. Counter is equal to 1. Why counter less than equal to 1 now? Do you get it now? As long as this is true, for the first time, counter is 1 and it's less than 10, computer will come and print this message. After print this message, computer will now add 1 to counter, which is 1, and it will add 1 to k. Oh, sorry. Instead of k, I should use this one as well, counter. Okay, this one will be what? Counter. And this one will be what? Counter. That is it. Because it's a counter I want to increase by 1. So since our counter is 1 here, and the condition here is true, simply because counter is 1, which is less than 10, computer will execute the instruction that follow while loop here by display this message. After display this message, the next instruction is what? Is to add 1 to counter, and counter become 1. Once counter become 1, the control will come back to while loop again to come and check the while loop. Do you get now? So the counter will be 2 because initially counter is 1. So when counter is 2, it will now be, is 2 less than 10? Yes. It will come and print this again. And it will add 1 to 2 in the counter. Counter become 3. It will check again. 3 less than 10? Yes. It will come to here again. And it will add 1 to 3, making 4. Counter will become 4. Is it 4 less than 10? Yes. It will add 1 to it, making 5. It will also check the loop again. It will also check the condition again. That's why you say that well, each time you make use of the word of the while loop always check condition before executing what the statement. So it will continue to check this condition one by one. Let's assume counter is 9 now. After 9 less than 10, yes, it will print this. It will now add 1 to 9, making 10. Is 10 less than 10? No. But 10 equal to 10, yes, it will print this again. It will add 1 to 10, making 11. Is 10 less than 10? No. Is 10 equal to 10? No. That means any instruction that follow this closing braces, system execute it. Do you get now? And that means here now we need to cover end of loop. So it means that what anything that is not within this particular opening and braces, system is not going to what to display it. Now let's see how to implement this one in our what HTML page again. So I'm going to create a new page for that loop. So I will save this switch case as well as loop now. File, save as well. I call it loop loop underscore js now. Okay, that is it. So I can now change this one to what loop now. That's the JavaScript file I'm going to create. So this section here is going to be what using a loop structure. Okay, using loop structure now. Okay, now so because of this now I want to use more than one loop here. So I'm going to define the loop one by one now. Instead of label here, I'm going to use a button to display each of the loop now. So I said input, yes, type, input type equal button. Okay, input type equal button. Say values equal okay, while loop. Okay, that is it. I'll now use the event which is on click equal get y. Okay, that's the function I'm going to create now for this loop. Get y, that's supposed to be in front of this. Okay, why is it? What's a lot of space here now? That's run away. Okay, so and I have semicolon here now. Okay, so this one is for the first loop now. So I can use this one for the second loop. That's going to be do while loop again. Because first one is while loop, and this will be what? Or do while. Okay, I can say get do while. And the third loop will be for loop. We call it for loop. It will be what? Get for. Okay. So this one just show all the loop we needed. So I can remove this. Okay. I can also remove all this row here. That's time for all row I needed there. So now oh, what is wrong here? I'm closing this tier. Okay, good. So let me preview this page here now. Which is loop js. Let me make it small letter. Okay, so loop js now. Preview. Okay, this is how I want each of my loop to look like now. So I can now create a JavaScript for this loop. My JavaScript file, create inside here. I name it loop. Okay, loop dot js now. Good. So the first, I'll create a function for the failure. I call it get y function now. Okay, that's good now. So in the get y function, so this loop code already written here, I can copy it now. This is the code I'm going to print God bless Nigeria 10 times. You can see now. So, and that is it here now. So again, since you want to print Nigerian the message 10 times, I can put a comment function here that this function display the message 10 times. That is it now. So remember I said we have to first start with a starting value, which is 1. So that one that going to be a starting value I store into a variable. You can start with any number. That's another thing. You can start with any number as long as that number is going to give you a range of 1 to 10 you want. You get it now? You can start with 2, you can start with 3, but if you start with 3 you end in 13. If you start with 11 you end in 20. If you start with 5 you end in 15. So this one define the word, the beginning of the message you want to display and the end of message you want to display. Since it is going to be 10. That's why I say counter is equal to 1. And this counter can be any variable name of your choice. So after that again, I will now say the starting number as long as it is less than the ending number. Do you get it now? I will tell you to display the message which I want here. So for starting number to change to 2 so that I can improve, I now use counter plus equal 1, which means system should add 1 to what? To existing value in the counter and counter take a new value. We made the counter to come back to the while loop here and be able to test the value again, the new value of counter, whether I see less than 10. You keep repeating this until there's no more value or until counter equal to 10 or greater than 10. Once the counter greater than 10 here, the code will stop. System will not go to print the message again. So let me save this one now and see how this one work. So I refresh this page again and now click on while loop. Can you see now? God bless Nigeria and Nigerian. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you can display the number for each of these to see whether they're up to 10 or not. So if I'm going to display number inside them, that means I have to close this particular one here first. And I will now use plus sign. The variable for the number is counter. I can put counter there. I will now say plus again and quotation here. So it means that the system should display the counter, that is number 1, in between each of this message. I can put dot here again. So the dot I put here is just like when you say 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, and the space here is not to make everything to make it readable. So once I return back here, I refresh this page again and I click on while loop. Oh, I did not save something. No. Oh, sorry, I didn't add it to the main code here now. So in that case, I return back here. I copy the code here and I add it to the main code. This was supposed to have done the correction. Okay, so save now and I preview here now. Can you see now? 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 10. So I can use this loop to perform any task. I just use this one to display A2 10 times. What if I say I want you to display a button 10 times? What I just need to do is to create a button tag inside this loop here now. Can you see now? And I say document dot write again. So I open my the tag for button. So I can now open inside this by saying button here now. Okay, and I close it. Okay, so and what message I want button to display? I want to display get started. Okay, so I will close the button tag here too like this by say okay, button tag button like this now. That's it. And semicolon for, you can see this is the button now. So when I save this page and I click on this, it should give me, can you see? These are the button we are talking about now. Do you get now? This button appear 10 times. That is the importance of using what? That's what the loop does. Maybe I want the value to be printed inside the button here again. I can also create a button that the what? That the value will be inside it. You get now? Just like this. That means this one going to come after this one again. So instead of this one, I will have something like this counter here. Something like this counter here now. I'll put it in between here. I want the content of the button to change programmatically. That is it now. So when I do this one, it means system is going to display a number inside each button one by one now. When I say while loop, you can see now. That means there are two different buttons that system is being displayed for me now. So if I comment this one again, so it will be only the second button that displays number from 1 to 10. Can you see? Do you get it now? It does not mean, so that means the JavaScript can be used to repeat different tasks. Even though you can use it for the calculation, I can say that well, every value that is inside this particular button, the number in the button should be multiplied by 2. So what I just need to do to say what? Times what? Maybe times 3 now. Do you get it now? But when I say times 3, I'm going to put in bracket like this first. I'm going to put the counter in bracket like this. It means whatever the value of the counter here, system is going to to keep adding, system will multiply it by 3 before to display it. Counter times 3 display. So when I come, it's like multiplication of 3 now. So if I return back to what to here, the answer is going to be 3 times 20 to 30. Can you see? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 3 times 6, 3 times 7, 3 times 8, 3 times 9, 3 times 10. And that is exactly what the button here can do. But sometimes, I may want to use this particular loop to get only the odd number. If I say this number starts from 1 to 50 now, and I want to get the odd numbers, it's possible. So the code to get the odd number, I can now display it by using this particular approach here again here. So I'll just put something here, okay, and that's going to be code for odd number. So right here now, I will comment this, and I will comment this section here. Then I can now change the I'll say +2 here now. You get now, this is +2. Remember my counter start from 1. So when I say counter plus equal to, if I add 2 to 1, making 3, 4, 5, 6, that is exactly what this one does. And for system to start from what? From 1, because this is going to start from 2. Do you get it now? Okay, I can say document or write this one to first display 1. Okay, see, I'm not displaying this message again. Okay. Sorry, I need to close H2. Close H2 here now. Okay. And yeah, that is it now. So it will have been closed here now. And at the same time, because this one will start this, if I run this code like this, it will start displaying from what? From 2, all the odd number. Let me put some comment here now. That means display odd number to know what this line of this code does. Okay, so when I return back here, I click on while loop. You can see these are the odd number from 1 to 49. You get now, and that is exactly what this particular while loop does. Like I said, while loop can be used to do to repeat any instruction for as many times as you want it. It's not only the while loop, it is all the loop that perform the same task. Whether you are using a while loop or you are using a for loop, all the loop repeat any instruction as long as the condition here is continuing to be true. Look at something else again here. If I put something like this and I say well counter is 100, you will notice that nothing will happen again, simply because if I say counter less than 50, no, when something like this happen, the loop will not execute. So if I run this one again, can you see system did not give us anything because the loop is not well execute. So when you are using your your loop can display any instruction for as long as the condition here is true. So I want us to stop from here for today now. By the grace of God, on Saturday we will complete the remaining part of this particular loop, and that's going to be what? The while loop, do while loop, and also what? The for loop. Both of them also perform almost the same task with the while loop, except that only the syntax is different. Okay, so that will be all for today now. Yeah, hello. Okay, thank you so much. So until Saturday again. Yeah, good night.